Hey, it's Timmy from the MK Concierge. My mate Nick keeps on making jokes about my microphone, and I'm going to keep on making content. Today, I'm at the Stony Stratford Classic and Vintage Car Festival to speak to car enthusiasts and hopefully speak to a couple of small businesses along the way. Let's see what they have to say. Hi, Paul. Thank you so much for joining the MK Concierge. So, my mate Nick says I can't do interviews, and we are going to prove him wrong. So, can you just tell us a bit about yourself and about this wonderful orange car that you have with us today?
Yeah, my name's Paul Temple. I'm an Aston Martin trained panel beater. Just retired 2 years ago, and I spend my time building special cars.
Nice. And how long have you been here for in the Stony Stratford? Do you come here every year or every other year? How
Yeah,
are you finding it so
I've
far?
got other cars, and I come here twice a year, really. So yeah, come in the summer and now, and it all works out well.
I want to ask, what made you get into classic cars? Because it's a very niche profession, a niche hobby to get into. I love a Mustang, the old Mustang, not the new ones. What made you get into it?
Well, I was an Aston Martin trained panel beater, so I've built cars all my life. For the last 35 years, I worked in Olney, restoring Aston Martins and Ferraris. And so cars all the time.
What was your favorite part about working in the Aston Martin paneling? Sorry, I didn't quite catch it. The Aston Martin um, work that you did. What was your favorite part of it?
Well, I'm a panel beater, so we used to make the bodies, but we used to do vintage Ferraris as well. And yeah, just the creativity, making stuff. That's the key, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I want to ask as well, what is your favorite vintage car here, apart from your own, which is this beautiful orange one? Which
I
is the
like
other
that.
one? Oh, the Porsche that's right next to us.
Right next door to us.
How come you like that one? Can I
I
ask?
think styling wise for the 70s, it was absolutely perfect. Fantastic lines, fantastic engineering. The car that saved Porsche.
Why do you say it saved Porsche? Can I ask?
Because it was a high volume car. Uh, there was a very niche market, and I think it did pull them out of a financial hole.
Cool. I did not know that. How do you think about Porsche at the moment? Because they don't really have any more classic cars, Porsche, because they mainly do the 911 from Top Gear. My Top Gear knowledge there. What do you think about Porsche now, though?
Oh, I don't know much about the new cars actually. I mean, styling wise, I think they've lost it a little bit, but yeah, what do I know?
You know a lot, Paul. You know a lot. Thank you so much, mate, for coming on the on MK Concierge. Is there any more information you want to give people about the orange, beautiful car that you have here?
Oh well, yeah, it's a Domino Premier. They only made them for a few years. They didn't really work out. It's a complete fiberglass tub. I've done a lot of work, made a lot of aluminium panels for it, and yeah, nice little car.
Thank you so much. And have you got anything to say to my mate Nick, who makes jokes about my
Well,
interviews?
I think Tim has done a lovely job, and I'm very excited about it.
Thank you so much, mate, and hopefully I'll see you on the next interview. Hi, Martin. Thank you so much for joining the MK Concierge. My mate Nick keeps on saying I can't do interviews, so we're going to prove him wrong today. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, Martin, and about your wonderful green car that you have today?
Well, I've been a car nut since I was about 10, and I've had a huge succession of different cars over the years, which I've absolutely just fell in love with car after car after car. Now, at 81 years of age, I can't afford anything decent, so I bought a little Copen, which was lying up in Yorkshire, and I then started restoring it and customizing it a bit, I think, but just to make it different and to have a bit of fun. And I have to say, it's tremendous fun.
Good. That's really good that you're having fun in your old age at the moment. I want to ask as well. Sorry, that came across wrong. In your age, I want to ask, how are you finding the Stony Stratford Classic and Vintage Festival at the moment? Is your first time coming here? Are you a regular? Do you get a lot of interest for your car as well?
Well, I've been coming here for probably 10 or 12 years, I think. And I remember maybe 2 years ago where it was cancelled because of high winds on New Year's Day. And other than that, I've been at every show that they've done. I live fairly locally, so and I've got a few friends coming with their cars as well. So it's a bit of a social gathering as well, which is very, very pleasant.
That's good. Your friends have cars as well, and they're coming. Who's got the best car? I won't say anything to them.
I don't think there is such a thing as a best car because people often, well, with older cars, they buy with their heart, not their heads, and they fall in love with what they've got. But one of my friends has just bought a Lotus Elise, I think it is. He'll be here about 10 o'clock, and I haven't seen it yet. But when I saw the pictures of it, I thought it was pink, and I thought, "You brave man." But no, apparently it's red. So he's very chuffed with it. So I'm looking forward. And then another friend of mine's got a little Mini Cooper, much like these here, and he's done a lot of work on it. He's tried to turn it into the Italian Job, I think, and
I love that movie.
And he's succeeding. It's looking really nice. Yeah.
And out of all the cars here at the moment in the vintage fair, which is your favorite car apart from your own? Which is your favorite car from today?
I think just anything from the 60s I just fall in love with, because that's my era. You know, in 1960 I was coming up on 20, and taking an interest then, and of course I could tell pretty well any 60s car here from its rear light.
Nice.
You know, I mean, I'm just very, very interested in them, I have to say. So anything like that. I always fancied an MGA. I never had an MGA because my initials are MGA, and but I had Mini Coopers and I had all sorts of exotic stuff. Elvises. I had an XK150 fixed head coupe at one point. Just all sorts of things. I just went for it, you know.
Yeah, and it's that passion that you love the cars and the classic, and it's that nostalgia and everything.
Absolutely,
like
completely in my head. You know, it's there's not much that I haven't read about or I'm interested in, I have to say. But the 60s, yeah, they had style.
They definitely did.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Martin, for coming on the MK Concierge.
It's a pleasure.
Now, is there anything you'd like to say to my mate Nick, who says I can't do interviews?
Well, the thing is, if I talk all the time, you don't need to do interviews, do you?
That is true. Thank you so much, Martin, for coming on the MK Concierge again, and I hope you have a lovely day. And let's move on to the next interview. Hey, Jack, thanks for coming on the MK Concierge. Could you please tell us a bit about the business? But before you do, sorry, my mate Nick says I can't do interviews, so we're gonna prove him wrong. So let's have a chat about your business, Loaded Plates. Tell us all about it, mate.
Yeah, going good. Yes, we're going 2 years now. We literally started in January 2 years ago, so that's been good. We did start with doing breakfasts as like a side business sort of thing, and then we just progressed into doing a bit more festivals and events and things like that. So that's why we're here.
And what other things that you specialize in? What type of food? I'm guessing loaded fries or something like that. But anything in particular that you guys do that's different to any other food vendor?
No, the main difference is that we just use the local source meat and produce the sort of thing. You know, we try. Jaden, my brother Jaden, who's part owner with me, he's a chef and he's worked in some Michelin stars and stuff like that. So he's got some of the nice sauces and seasonings and things like that, just to give it that little extra twist.
So,
but yeah.
So I can say that Loaded Plates is a Michelin star food van, can I? Because you just said you're mate.
Yeah, that's the man here. He's worked in them before, and Rosette restaurants and stuff like that as well. So he's got the techniques down to it.
How did it come about, Loaded Plates? What was the origins and the idea behind it originally?
To be honest, it was just more about trying to get the portions. Obviously, if we were doing the loaded fries, but the size of it, we just want to try and make it seem like. But it's not just fries. So we thought if we do plates, it's a bit of everything. So the portion size is just trying to be that, which is obviously the loaded side of it. But yeah, the plates was just more of a broad term. Could we do burgers, and then we can do other events as well. So we're doing the pulled pork, and then we're doing wedding events and things like that with the spinning pigs and pork and things like that as well. So it's just a bit of everything.
Nice, that's really, really cool. No, it does make sense, 100%. What are the plans for 2026 for Loaded Plates? Are you going to go bigger, stronger, and better, or are you going to be local still?
Getting big is definitely part of it. We would like to get a bigger van because we struggle a little bit with the space, to be honest. But yeah, I want to get a bigger van, and social media is something we're not very good at, so that will be something to improve.
Social media, are you guys on Instagram? If so, what's your handle so people can search for you?
Literally, if you search up Loaded Plates Northampton, we'll turn up. But again, it's not the best at the moment, so this year's task is to make that look a bit better.
And how are you finding the vintage and classic car fair at the moment? Have you got a favourite car that you've seen so far?
I haven't actually seen that many at the moment. Obviously, we've got the ones in front of us here, but other than that, because we've been busy, we just haven't really had time to look around, sort of thing. So we'll have a little look later. But I do like some of the old classics. They're a little bit, they've got a bit more personality to them, haven't they?
They do, rather than the modern cars where they've got no soul or anything like that. Now, is there anything that you'd like to say to my mate Nick, who says I can't do interviews?
Nick, you're wrong, pal. He's on it. He's spot on. He's perfect. He can do them. He can do them well.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that, mate. And hope you have an amazing day. Thanks for joining us, and let's go on to the next one. Hi, Terry. Thank you for coming on the MK Concierge. My mate Nick says I can't do interviews, so we're going to prove him wrong today. So, you are a town crier, which was amazing. I've never interviewed a town crier before. Can you tell us all about that, please, and how you became a town crier?
So I've been the deputy town crier at Stony Stratford for a little while under the wonderful Matt Island, who sadly passed away in November 24. And I became then the interim town crier. And then towards the end of 2025, it was all made official. And now I am the first female town crier of Stony Stratford.
The first female. Oh my God! I feel this is an exclusive, guys. The first female in Stony Stratford. What does a town crier do, if I can ask?
So historically, the town crier was somebody who would go out and make announcements for the town. So it could be anything from the king is dead, God saves the king, and herald a new king, to Mrs. Cribbins has lost her purse. Please, for a nice reward, please return it to the post office. So it would be all sorts of things, from lost glasses and dogs and horses to really big monumental events that would affect not just the town but the country. So the town crier's job, before we had internet, newspapers, the town crier's job was really the way that news got around. So instead of picking up your phone and checking what had happened in the last 24 hours, you'd wander onto the high street where somebody dressed a bit like me would be there giving an oh yays, and giving all the local information. And on a day like today, so obviously that role has changed a bit with modern technology, you don't need me giving the news, but on a day like today, on all the Stony Stratford events, I come out, I let people know the timings of different things, particularly on the car show. I support the Willen Hospice, so we've got lots of people who are raising money for that particular charity. They are not allowed legally to shake their buckets, so they can't advertise that they are there to try and drum up money. However, I can stand right next to them, ringing my bell, going, come on, give us some money. Because I'm not allowed to take money because I'm a town crier. So, but I can get other people's to raise money. So we work sort of in tandem, because the car show here today at Stony Stratford and all the car shows generally raise money for the Willen Hospice. So that's the big charity that the car show is affiliated with. But other events throughout the year link in with other charities or other organisations. So.
Well, so you said that the town crier used to give news, and in this modern day of technology, when the Queen died and the King was crowned the King, did you ring the bell? Is there anything the town crier had to do at that time?
So that was in Matt's era. He, yes, indeed, did have to make the public announcement. Last year for VE Day, I had to stand on the street and announce VE Day. I'd had actually a letter from the royal household, an email to call all the town criers up and down the country to stand out at 9 a.m. and announce VE Day. So I was part of that. I have my VE Day badge.
Nice.
So that's sort of one of my little tokens.
That's
I
a
get.
good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
To put little tokens on my hat that either I get given or a part of events, or something that I particularly enjoy. So love Stony.
That says love Stony, and that one's a really good one as well. Yeah. So we've got love Stony here. We've got Doctor Who. We've got Vintage Stony, and we've got Vintage Stony as well. That's the anniversary, and we've got the VE Day, and we've got this one, which I have no idea what that is. It looks like a box and something else, but the one next to the VE.
That might be Canine from Doctor Who.
Okay.
Yeah, because I am a massive Whovian, and so,
I am as well. My favorite one was Matt Smith with the bow tie and everything. Oh, he was. Oh, I love that. I love that series so much.
I love both classic and new Who. I've been a Whovian my entire life. I've just finished making a 15-foot long Series 18 Doctor Who scarf. So some people will see me when I'm not dressed like this out on the streets of Stony Stratford wearing my incredibly long scarf at this time of year. I wish I had it today because it's very cold.
It is very, very cold. And how are you finding the vintage car fair? I'm guessing, is this your first one as the first female one? And is there any particular car that you really like as well?
So it's not my first car show. I've done the events a few times before because as deputy, whenever Matt couldn't do something, although this was his favourite event, I always sort of stepped in. So I have done a couple of them before. I really always like the quirky vehicles. So I'm still making my way around. I haven't seen all of them yet. So if I don't mention your car, sorry. But I have noticed that just up that way, there is a lovely Land Rover mini fire engine, which, yeah, it's quite cool. It's quite quirky. I like that. But I'm sure by the end of today, I will have found a dozen others that I could talk endlessly about. And I always usually quite like the motorbikes as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some
good.
of them are pretty cool.
I love a good motorbike than a car personally. So, is there anything before you do the ringing of the bell, which we are gonna have today? Is there anything that you'd like to say to my mate Nick, who says I can't do interviews?
Well, yeah, clearly we've had a brilliant interview. So, Nick, you're wrong. But I can do better than that.
Go on, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Nick, you are wrong.
Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you so much. And that's all we have for today at the Vintage Fair. Nick, you're wrong. Terry said it with the bell and everything. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you see you at the next video.